I dream too much. I tell myself that I can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. That I can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. Clearly now. Clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. I smoke too much. I drink too much. I tell myself that I can't stop. We could see clearly now. 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 Clearly now. Clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. That I can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. I can't stop. We could see clearly now. We could see clearly now. protect your soul.
Give me reasons to doubt, try to keep me down, but I'll put the flame out, you can't get to me. Throw your sticks and your stones, go break all of my bones, you won't ache my soul, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down, but fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a push me down to the ground. What goes around comes around. You won't put the flame out, you can't get to me. Say what you wanna say, go take it all away, but I'm here to stay. No, you can't get to me. And there is no barricade that I can tear away. Shoot me down, but fire away, away. But I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight.
they've been perennial powerhouses in this competition. And for Hanoi, the V-League champs, very, very entertaining to watch, but it is that inconsistency which is a little bit of a chink in their armour. To win your first game 10-0 and look like it was going to be plain sailing, and then all of a sudden a draw. Tampines and lose to Yangon United, which was really disappointing, and find themselves on 4 points after only 3 matches. Really put the pressure on them for those final 3 group stage games, but they stepped up and they did the business. So I think you can look into it to a certain degree, but when it comes down to finals football, you've almost got to look at what's in front of you more than look what's behind.
Well, as you said, ceres do have previous when it comes to the ASEAN Zonal semi-finals. They've made it for the 3rd time in the past 3 years. On the 2 previous occasions they've reached this stage, they went on to reach the ASEAN Zonal final. This is Hanoi FC's first appearance at this stage since the competition changed its format back in 2017, but they did reach the quarterfinals back in 2014. As we can see, the players are just about milling around in the tunnel behind the officials there and the AFC flag bearers. Big glance of the coaches on the Hanoi FC bench there. The one thing we probably can be in store tonight, PJ, are goals. Goals are what win matches, and this ASEAN Zonal semi-final boasts the 2 most prolific goal scorers in the competition so far. Ceres' Bienvenido Maranon and Hanoi's Ganiyo Aseni both have 9 goals in the tournament so far, and the goal scoring burden will rest largely on their shoulders. Now, PJ, when you're playing with people who consistently find the back of the net like that, it must take a lot of the pressure off.
We'll probably end up with a 0-0 draw, Dan. It'll probably be 0 shots on target and 0-0 given our luck, but I agree completely with what you said. We are in for what should be a very proactive, enterprising game. Both of these teams have goals in them all over the park. Obviously the top goal scorers, as you mentioned, on either side, equal top goal scorers, but there is good quality, and I've really enjoyed the way that both teams really do go after the game. Seems to be a little bit of a trend that we've seen in the AFC Cup, where it is a little bit more attack than defence. That hasn't always been the case, but I think a real credit to both teams, how they set up and how they aim to outscore their opposition, as to probably set up defensively and be difficult to break down. I would say that Ceres, for me, are defensively, tactically a little bit stronger for me. I do find them really well organised. They are difficult to break down. But again, as you've mentioned there, Dan, excellent quality in that final third. Maranon in particular, you look at Porteri in those wide areas and Manuel Ott as well. Schrock, he really does just sit a little bit deeper and pulls the strings. Danger from everywhere. In saying that, though, Hanoi have got plenty of quality too there, Dan.
Well, you mentioned there that Ceres being perhaps a little bit more tactically aware. Might that be something that comes down to their experience? Most of their first team is made up of players in their late 20s, early 30s, whereas the Hanoi side are considerably younger, a lot of the players that perform so well for the Vietnamese national side at the AFC Asian Cup. So perhaps could that play a factor?
Yes, I think it does. It's always a balance of that experience versus that youthful exuberance. We look at obviously a number of the players in this Hanoi team who did represent Vietnam, who made the quarterfinal of the AFC Asian Cup. And for Ceres, look, it is just a very well organised and disciplined outfit. Muller in goals is a very strong, courageous figure, really marshals that 18-yard box, and we look all the way through. A key player for me, obviously Silva in central defence, and good options from the bench as well. When you're looking at Vidakovic and what he can do to execute change from the bench, plenty of options.
Well, we've just seen the Ceres Negros lineup there, and we can see on the right-hand side of the team shot there, Stefan Schrock, who's definitely the key playmaker. They'll be looking to him for inspiration throughout the course of the game. And in fact, we do have a battle of very talented playmakers, because on the Hanoi FC side, we have Nguyen Quang Hai, the young rising star of Vietnamese, if not Southeast Asian, if not Asian football, incredibly talented young man, and we've been looking to him to create numerous things for his side this evening. We will bring you the Hanoi FC team news in just a little while, but what a player Nguyen Quang Hai is, PJ.
Oh, absolute brilliant. Absolute brilliant. Confidence on the ball, trickery, can beat players in a one-on-one situation. Technically very, very gifted in his ability to not only find space to receive the ball when he's under pressure, but his ability to create space for his teammates as well.
Well, there we can see the Hanoi FC lineup. And like PJ said a few moments ago, very strong, plenty of options for them, plenty of goals as well. Up in front, number 90, Ganiyo Oseni, 9 goals in the tournament so far. And also you've got Pape Omer Faye, who has 5 goals from his 6 appearances too. So they are not short of firepower, and also a decent looking bench there as well. So we should be set for a highly intriguing, fascinating encounter tonight, and I for one cannot wait. PJ, how do you see this one panning out?
I see ceres going on and winning this game. I can see obviously a draw in many ways, given the fact that Hanoi on their day can really cut apart any team. But I just think ceres at home in what looks like a little bit of a rough evening, a bit of moisture on the pitch. It looks a little bit soggy. It looks like there's quite a bit of weather. Certainly Hanoi are very used to those conditions as well. But I just think for me, ceres, with that experience and their performance in this competition over the last 3 years, I see them going ahead and winning this game.
And I guess the onus is on ceres as well as the home side. They've got to go away to Hanoi in the return leg, so they'll be looking for a very positive result for Hanoi. If they can get away without losing, or if they can escape with a draw, perhaps a narrow win, it really sets themselves up for the second leg. So they'll be hoping for a positive result and to get themselves on the score sheet. We're just a few moments away from kickoff here in the 2019 AFC Cup, and we are underway in Bacolod. We've got Hanoi in their purple shirts, white shorts and white socks, kicking from right to left. Hanoi in the yellow shirts, black shorts and yellow socks from left to right. An early touch there for Doan Van Hao, the Vietnamese international. It'll be interesting to see how these two sides measure up. And as PJ mentioned a few moments ago, the pitch looking pretty heavy. It looks like it has rained quite a lot in Bacolod, and that's going to have a bit of an impact on the way the game goes, PJ.
It certainly does. It just means that, particularly when you're looking at the pitch, are certain areas a little bit more wet and soggy than others? Is the ball going to roll as true as you would like it to? Obviously, when it's a little bit soggy, the pace of the ball to be able to move it fast, which in many ways affects both teams, but probably Hanoi a little bit more with their trickery and the pace of their game, so it slows it down a little bit. In many ways, it does level out the teams, which is a cliche that we certainly have heard. And then also, the ball's rolling back to the keeper in those situations. It can always end up with a cracking whoopsie-daisy, depending on a funny bobble or a wet spot there that you can't quite see.
So the players are going to have to be extra careful. The goalkeepers will have to take plenty of care. So a quick shot of Nguyen Van Kong there, the Hanoi FC goalkeeper, and it is a free kick to Ceres Negros.
The good thing there though, Dan, some good goal celebrations in the wet. You're certainly not doing your knee slides or your tummy slides on a dead, dry pitch in Southeast Asia. A little bit of moisture certainly lends itself to some good goal celebrations.
Well, let's hope we see plenty tonight. And here's the first attack to the game, and it could have a chance falling in the box. It's just about dealt with, and it goes all the way through to Nguyen Van Kong. Falls on the ball, comfortable save there for the Hanoi number 30, and he'll be pleased to get an early touch on the ball with both hands. The first chance of the game there falling by way of Ceres, and it falling to Miguel Tanton. Be a little bit disappointed he didn't do a bit better there.
He certainly would have been. Tanton was an excellent opportunity. It was played into his path, just trying to side foot it, as you can see, just trying to curl it into the corner.
Played forward there by Tran Van Kien, but unfortunately goes out of play. It'll be another throw in to Ceres. Pape Omer Faye there, clearly not happy with the linesman's decision, the assistant referee's decision, but it is a throw in to Ceres. Lloyd managed to clear their lines, but it will be another throw in there to the home side. Water splashing up from the surface. Clearly had a lot of rain before the game. Here's Porteria. Clearance is this kick there, but it's just about dealt with by Pape Omer Faye. And Dodwai Man completes the clearance. Here's Moses Olaya. Plays it up forward, and it's dealt with there by Andre Silva. Played for Hanoi FC for a season in 2017, playing against some of his former teammates. Here's the captain Yen Van Quet, Duan Van Hao. He's got sending space, but pass was misdirected. There's a chance now for Ceres to counter. Maicot, who finds his captain, Manuel Herrera Lopez, otherwise known as Super. That's a decent ball out to OJ Portera, who's been heavily involved so far in the opening passage of this game. Mohamed Nazari, Silva, big man at the back, plays it forward. He's looking for Portera, but overhit, and it should be comfortably dealt with by Doan van Gaal.
Hanoi doing well, actually quite a high defensive line on that occasion, really restricting the passing options into midfield.
Not quite got their passing game going just yet, Hanoi FC, and that's probably something to do with the conditions. Looked very heavy underfoot. Stefan Schrock struggling a little bit there. Talented Filipino international. It's back now with Roland Muller. Number 99 on his shirt. Stoibel, the captain. That's Tanton. Ott. He's played himself into a bit of trouble there. It's picked up by Omar Faye. That's a lovely ball through to Yen Van Quet. First chance of the game. It's a brilliant save from Roland Muller. The danger's not cleared yet though, and a complete miss kick there from Yen Quang Hai. You expect better from a man of his ability, but a dangerous moment there for Hanoi. PJ.
Oh, it certainly was. Muller's done absolutely brilliantly. Ceres absolutely cut open here. He just needs to pick his spot. Disappointing effort given how well he was released, and then the follow-up, fortunately, in many ways went out for a corner for them.
Lovely ball from Pape Omafai that played in Yen Van Quet. The captain would have been expected to do a bit different. Better his corner coming in. Just about dealt with by the Ceres defence. There will be another corner though. I think captain Martin Stoibel could have perhaps got a little bit harder there to try and keep the ball in play, but clearly must have thought it came off Hanoi FC body. But it will be a corner to the Vietnamese side. Yen Quang Hai is the man wandering over to take it. This young star of Vietnamese football likely to find conditions a little bit tricky tonight. Pitch wouldn't be as he'd have hoped it would be. Referee clearly unhappy with things that are taking place in the penalty area. No doubt the inevitable pushing and shoving that does seem to take place in the penalty area. So it will be a corner from Yen Quang Hai. It's a decent ball in, dealt with there by Super. Back to Quang Hai. It's just blocked away. Ceres have a chance to push out. Tran Van Kien playing it back up towards Omar Faye.
Những diễn biến trên sân thật sự hấp dẫn phải không nào? Và nếu như các bạn vẫn còn đang phân vân suy nghĩ rằng khi tham gia fp88vn.com sẽ được gì thì đừng vội lo lắng, bởi fp88vn.com hiện đang có chương trình khuyến mãi lên đến 2 triệu đồng dành cho thành viên mới, hợp pháp và an toàn. Hãy truy cập ngay fp88vn.com để nhận được ưu đãi.
Stefan Schrock there down upon the floor, clutching his face. That's an inside a free kick. Moses Aloya, the guilty party, foot raised. Here we can see a replay of that. Oh, he's caught him with his face. Sorry, his open palm.
Yes, certainly.
Perhaps a little bit of a fortunate free kick.
No, exactly.
I think he's just accidentally caught him. But the free kick is given. Schruck is back on his feet, and that'll be a great sign for the Ceres fans and his teammates. Hugely talented player. A lot of the things they do well goes through him. Super. Nice little ball infield, looking for Schruck. He's dealt with there. Lawyer's given the ball away. Here's OJ Portera. Schrock now. Battling against Aloya. It's just about dealt with there by Yen Van Quet. It will be a throw-in to Ceres. Despite the conditions, it's been a decent start to the game. Both sides have had their chances. Nazari there into Schrock. And that's all the way through to Nguyen Van Kong.
You know, it has been, Dan. It's a good point, the fact that it is a little bit trying conditions, but both teams really aiming to get the ball on the ground and knock the ball around.
You can just see from that close-up shot of Stefan Schrock there, the pitch cutting up quite considerably already. They must have had an awful lot of rain over the past couple of days. But it's the same for both teams, so they'll have to make as best of it as they can. It will be a throw-in to Ceres.
It also does provide a good opportunity when you're entering that attacking third area and you're around the 18-yard box to have those strikes from distance, to aim to get the ball into the air and have it skid or bounce before it reaches the goalkeeper. Not necessarily expecting that shot to actually go into the back of the net, but it makes it challenging for the goalkeeper. Whether they spill it or fumble it, the players that are backing up in support can always get a cheap goal.
From Super, giving the ball away cheaply, but recovers well. Looks to play it forward, looking for OJ Portera, but it's dealt with at the back. And Doan Van Hal cleans up, but come under pressure there from Bienvenido Maragnon. Joint top goal scorer with 9 goals. He'll be looking to add to his tally here in the battle between the two red-hot strikers of this competition against Guinea Orseni. Orseni there winning his side a throw-in. Super apologises for his earlier lapse. No harm was done. Aleu. Tran Van Kien. Nice little ball in there, but just about dealt with by Ceres. They'll look to break once again. Ball's looking for Maragnon. It's quickly dealt with by Do Duaiman. Though it does almost concede a corner. And Nguyen Van Kong seemed a little unsure of himself there and does play it out for a throw-in. Ceres with a chance that perhaps they might not thought they might not have had. Here's Sean Kane. Terra once again seeing plenty of the ball in the opening exchanges. Stoibel. Stoibel again. Nazari. Super. Sarah's happy to take their time and build patiently, which might prove difficult on this surface, but they seem to be determined to stick to that. Here's Schrock. Finds Tanton. Nice little ball in there to Mike Ott. Looking for Maragnon. It's just about dealt with there by Hanoi. Ball cleared long by Nguyen Van Kong. That goes all the way through to his opposite number, Roland Muller. And Ceres will build from the back once again. PJ, looking at this pitch, you can see there's quite a few divots already. Do you think perhaps Ceres might be able to change their game plan a little bit more fluidly than Hanoi?
That'd obviously be a little bit more suited to the stadium and the dimensions and obviously the atmosphere. They do have that option, which you're obviously lending yourself to be a little bit more direct on occasion, get the ball in wide areas such as this.
Here's Portera once again looking for Maragnon. Two weren't on the same wavelength. And Portera has won his side a corner. 13 minutes gone, first one of the game for the home side. Yen Tran Chung there, the man conceding the corner, a little bit careless at the back. It'll be Tanton to take this one. It's his first season with Ceres, the man born in Santa Clara in the United States of America. He will be taking this corner. In it comes. He's looking for Andre Silva there, the big man at the back, but it's dealt with by Hanoi. But they're unable to clear their lines. Here's Kane. Kane again. Looking for Mike Ott, dealt with there by Hanoi. And here's Aleu. Tran Van Kien. Omar Faye. It's cleared into touch there by Omid Nazari. Doing his defensive duties well. It's been an intriguing contest so far. Decent arm wrestle going on between these two sides. It's good to hear a bit of atmosphere in the stadium as well. Not always the case in these AFC Cup games, but I guess with now through to the ASEAN Zonal semi-finals, and these games matter huge amount to both sides.
It sounds like a cracking little atmosphere. They are building up a nice following series. Obviously, great success both domestically and regionally. Really not only gaining in popularity in the Philippines, but that recognition that you receive across the region as well. So important, obviously, for the growth of Asian football, as we see the AFC Cup really leading into the Asian Champions League, and we hope that it's only the not too distant future that we have more Southeast Asian nations banging on the door to be included in the Asian Champions League.
Well, something we've certainly seen with Johor Darul this year. They found life a little bit difficult, but they acquitted themselves very, very well, and they can look back on their first campaign at the AFC Champions League with quite a lot of pride as well, and that's definitely something for the sides like Ceres Negros and Hanoi FC to aim for in the future.
It certainly is. It certainly is. You need exposure in the AFC Cup first to build a bit of understanding, a bit of resilience of this regional type of competition, and then that next step, it's a big step up, but certainly is it a journey.
There's a chance almost there. Do Hung Dong looking to play in for his teammates, but was just about intercepted. Ceres looks to play the ball up towards Maranyon. He's clattered from behind there as the referee awarded him the free kick. He looked very unhappy with the treatment that was meted out to him there by Nguyen Tran Chung. See if we get to see a replay of that. It was quite a heavy challenge.
It certainly was.
Lash out a little bit there.
Maranon's got to be careful. The referee was perfectly positioned.
And there straight away to diffuse the situation. Referee giving both players a good talking to.
Well, Tan Chung, he certainly did smash Maranon in the back. And again, when you're going up for a header or you're standing in that position, no one likes to be contacted in that area.
The veteran striker has probably had plenty of those over the course of his career, but like you say, it's still no more pleasurable each time it happens. Perhaps Nguyen Tran Chung there, a little fortunate not to pick up a yellow card, because it was quite a reckless challenge. Anyway, here's Nguyen Van Quet, and it's cleared by Moses Oloya. Not dealt with there by Super, definitely not living up to his name there. It's Van Quet, and here's Nguyen Quang Hai. Looking for Oseni. He's dealt with just about there. Lazari's getting himself into a bit of a muddle. It's one back by Quet. That's a lovely little back heel to Quang Hai. The cross comes in. And it's headed behind there by the captain, Martin Stoibel. And Ceres get themselves in all manner of trouble there. All of their own making.
Yeah, certainly just finding it difficult to clear their line. Stubel's done brilliantly just to attack that back post area in a defensive manner. See, it's always dangerous. Someone lurking at that back post. He's got no choice but to attack it and put it out. We have seen opportunities, particularly down this left-hand side for Hanoi FC, really starting to get at Ceres on occasion. They're quite happy to absorb pressure, but then on the counter-attack when Ceres are least aware, they're able to burst forward and create opportunities.
Will be Nguyen Quang Hai once again to take this corner. Second one from this side of the pitch for Hanoi FC. So we put in that cross a few moments ago that was just about dealt with by Martin Stoibel, the Ceres captain. And once again, the referee unhappy with what's happening in the penalty area. A lot of pushing and shoving once again. Martin Stoibel clearly unhappy with something that's been done or perhaps said by the Hanoi side. Anyway, it will be Quang Hai with the corner. Plenty of bodies in the box for him to aim for. Here it comes. It's just about dealt with, but it fell towards Alaya. That's just about as bad a shot as you can expect to see.
Certainly not the individual that you'd probably want to see in that position. He's got every right to try and obviously have a strike from there. Just a little bit more culture needed on his strike.
It was rash and did find its way out for a throw in. Here's Maranyon. He's done well there. Bring the ball under control. Free kick goes Hanoi's way this time. Schrock unhappy with the decision. It's been a decent tempo to the game. I guess it's been helped by the fact this is being played at night. A lot of the games in the AFC Cup do seem to take place in the middle of the afternoon when it's very, very hot, and that can't help. Although the pitch probably isn't helping matters as much as it could, but both sides are knocking the ball around nicely. And here's looking for Pape Omofai. And a chance could fall here for Hanoi. It's blocked, quite a stomach of one of the Ceres defenders there. Super taking that one in the midsection, perhaps a little bit lower, unfortunately for the Spaniard, but he did get back to his feet quickly, and it was a very important block because that was heading towards goal.
Yeah, Super's done brilliantly. It certainly was heading towards goal. He's a bit deeper, and his fellow defenders just falling on the ball, ensuring that he kept his arms away from it. Looking at the first 20 minutes of this game, and certainly need to suggest that Hanoi FC have created the best opportunities and the best openings so far.
Yeah, two clear-cut opportunities falling by way of the visitors. Ceres really yet to test Nguyen Van Kong in the Hanoi goal. That'll be of disappointment to them and their coach Risto Vidakovic. There's still plenty of time left in this one. This 2019 AFC Cup zonal semi-final first leg in the ASEAN region. Be a throw into Hanoi as we approach the halfway point of this first half. And as PJ said, it has been Hanoi who've had the better of the chances. And Tran Van Kien there conceding a free kick. It has become a little stop-start in this past couple of minutes. Here's a replay of that. Strikes Super around about the waistband.
Actually, looking at it from that angle, he didn't have a lot to do with it, to be fair. You and I probably could have blocked that as well if we're standing in that position, but he didn't flinch. Let's give him that.
And importantly for him, he was in the right place. So
very true.
You can give him marks for his positioning at least.
He did. He just stepped off a little bit deeper, stayed very central.
And he was very quick back to his feet, which is impressive considering where he may have been struck. Anyway, here's Alayo, Quang Hai, Oseni. He's looking for Van
that's
Gret.
a naughty challenge.
That's a late challenge there.
It's right in front of the referee.
That's a yellow card. And that will be, I think, issued to Miguel Tanton. Maranon is there by the referee, but pretty sure it wasn't him who conceded that foul. I don't think it was Shirk either.
The referee was perfectly positioned.
That's gone to Alvaro Silva. Big defender, and he's going to have to walk on eggshells now for the rest of the match. As you can see there, yep.
That is dreadfully timed.
Really was a poor challenge from the Philippine international. You'd expect better from him.
Well, in some ways, it's a little bit of an immature foul. It's an area park where you can put in a tough challenge. It's obviously on the halfway line, but you want to make it count, and basically picking up a yellow card now, 20 or so minutes into the game.
Yeah, it does put him up against it for the rest of the game. He'll have to be very careful now. And that is his second yellow card in the tournament.
If you do a challenge like that too, you don't want to see your opponent jump up very quickly. You want to take a quick free kick. You want to at least see him rolling around on the ground for a little bit. Make feel like the yellow card was worth it.
Chúng ta hãy cùng dành một ít phút quảng cáo cho nhà tài trợ fp88vn.com. Và nếu như các bạn vẫn còn đang loay hoay không biết sẽ đặt cược cho đội bóng của chúng ta ở đâu, thì hãy truy cập fp88vn.com. Đây là một trong những nhà cái uy tín hàng đầu và đang đứng top tại diễn đàn đặt cược châu Á Asian Bookie. Các bạn có thể yên tâm đặt cược tại đây. Hãy truy cập ngay fp88vn.com và đừng bỏ lỡ cơ hội.
No, free kick was given. Gives Hanoi FC the chance to get the ball in the box once again, and it's come in nice and early. It's flicked on, but comfortably through to Roland Müller. Dodoeman with the flick on there. Coming together between Maragnon and Dodoeman. Nothing given. Ceres will be disappointed they haven't got their goal-scoring talisman into this game a bit more so far, PJ. He's been having to live off scraps so far.
Yeah, he certainly has been. Found a little bit tough going to get on the ball, to find space, and obviously his teammates to provide that supply that's required.
Another chance for Hanoi to spring an attack here. Supers across and covering, but he's given away the ball. Unfortunately for him, it's just overrun by Do Hong Dung.
Hanoi FC certainly do have an extra pace to their game when in possession. Ability to move the ball, real pace in those wide areas as well. Being quick, particularly on this left-hand side, has been able to find space on a couple of occasions.
Yeah, they do look better in possession, and they also seem to be pressing Ceres quite high. I guess it's youthful exuberance, as we said just before kick-off. This is a pretty young side, most of them under the age of 25, or around the 25-year-old mark. Is a lawyer. Wins his side a throw-in. Ceres will be disappointed they haven't been able to get Schruck more involved in this match so far as well, and the likes of Mike Ott, dangerous players.
Schruck in particular, one player who's used to seeing plenty of the ball. The games that he does play, finding it difficult this evening. Full credit to the way that Hanoi FC are defending as well.
Is Kênh. Received the ball from Ott. He's looking for options. Nothing readily available yet. Goes back to his captain, Stoibel. Ceres will build from the back once again.
We'll see Moses play such an important role in the middle of the park. Sitting very deep. Support there by Kwang Hai. He sits in and then bursts out. But Moses in particular, to see how central he does sit. His job is to be that defensive rock in the middle of the park.
Nice switch of play there from Portera. Stoibel. Oh, and that is a nasty challenge. And that should be a yellow card as well. Dodwai Man joins Andre Silva in the referee's book. And that's one yellow card apiece, both to centre halves. And that was a poor challenge on Stefan Schruck. And that is the second yellow card in the competition for Dodwai Man as well.
He just couldn't help himself. So the ball played in. This comes absolutely flying in. Both feet up, studs raised. In many ways, fortunate that it was only a yellow card. The danger there for opponents when obviously receiving a challenge like that is when you're launching in and you're off the ground. The concern for referees is that you've lost control of your movement. Your movement is out of your control. And that's where the real danger lies, in obviously injuring your opponent. And that's what referees are very strict about, and so they should be. With a challenge like that, if that was slightly more from behind, it certainly would have been a straight red.
Yeah, might be able to consider himself a little bit fortunate there. Stefan Schruck back on his feet. Hardy warrior that he is, and it will be him to take this free kick to deliver it into the penalty area. Ceres looking to get on the end of it, but it's all the way through to Nguyen Van Kong once again. Dealt with comfortably by the Hanoi stopper. He's looking to release his side. A switch of play there by Papaoma Fai. Does go out for a throw-in.
There's one of those bobbles we're referring to, Dan. The pitch getting a little bit stuck up, just looking to spray the ball wide, and
there's another ball looking over the top for Portera. That does seem to be a bit of a tactic from both sides, perhaps with the pitch being in the condition that it's in. Cleared there by Doan Van Hau. That could be a free kick. It is a free kick. Nguyen Quang Hai being hit from the back.
It's always a little bit challenging at this point in these type of conditions, because the pitch is starting to get a little bit ragged. Do you opt to play that pass that you want to pass into feet, looking after retaining the ball? Very a little bit conscious of it being a bit soggy and built up. It always does make it a little bit more glorious defensively when the ball's bobbling around and you're trying to get onto your opponent.
Foul there conceded by Ghanio Oseni. I've not seen a lot of the Nigerian so far in the opening 29 minutes. They're just going into the back of Andre Silva. He conceded that foul a little bit earlier, just a few moments after going into the referee's notebook. He needs to be careful. Still an hour or so plus stoppage time to play. And he won't want to leave his side down to 10 men. Dodoi Man also on a yellow card after a nasty foul on Stefan Schruck. And they're battling with Moses Olayu in midfield there, and it's Schruck who comes away with possession. Going on one of those little runs of his. Unfortunately, the final ball wasn't quite right. Did fall back to him, but dealt with by Hanoi. And Hosseini wins his side a free kick. Super going through the back of him. And he now goes into the referee's book as well. That's both Ceres Negros centre-backs on yellow cards. And Hosseini in some discomfort. Although I would add the caveat he was able to chase after Super and remonstrate with him before he did go down to the turf. Be interested to see a replay of this. But that's a worrying sign for coach Risto Vidakovic, both his centre-backs on yellow cards, PJ.
It certainly is. It's hard enough being a midfielder and being on a yellow card, knowing that you're going to find yourself in certain defensive positions, deep in your defensive third.
Little knee in the back there, perhaps. And as we see Hosseini then getting up, realising he's got the free kick. And down he goes. And he's back on his feet now.
Yeah, this is certainly a concern there for Vidakovic. He's really got to impress on his two central defenders now, Super and Silva, that they've got to be so conservative in many ways when looking at making a challenge. They've got to ensure that they stay on their feet, that they don't dive in, they don't get themselves caught into anything, because as a striker or a player against an opponent who isn't on a yellow card like that, you can certainly use it to your advantage, particularly on set pieces.
There's Marignan. Only a few involvements for him so far. He'll be looking to get more into the game as time goes on. Portera, Kênh, Shock. Not to play in Marignan, but just slightly overhit and through to Nguyen Van Cong once again. And I guess with the conditions the way they are, it does make keeping your footing a little bit more tricky, which could have an impact on those guys who picked up yellow cards as well.
Oh, definitely. You've got the likes of Quang Hai in particular, who can run at players in and around that 18-yard box. You just need a slight touch or a silly challenge.
Dung there, conceding the free kick against Super. Game's just gone a little bit scrappy over the last 10 minutes or so. The side really able to exact a great amount of control over proceedings.
Well, Ceres in particular has been the team that's been disappointing in this first half. They have certainly not looked as solid defensively as we've seen them in previous games, and there's been a real lack of cutting edge to their performance.
Yeah, they'll be hoping for a lot better in the remaining moments of this first half and into the second. Here's Ott. Just loses control of that one to Tran Van Thien. Super. Back to Roland Muller. He's not had a lot to do, apart from that one save. That from Nguyen Van Quet early on. Perhaps should have done a little bit better. Here's Ott again. He's got Schrock outside him. As you can see, they're struggling to keep his footing. Difficult conditions underfoot. Here's Tanton. Kênh. Nice little 1-2 there. Kênh again. To get the ball across. It's a shot. It's a brilliant save from Nguyen Van Cong. Fantastic save from the Hanoi goalkeeper. Brilliant save from Bienvenido Marignan, who thought he'd given his side the lead. Fantastic reactions from the Hanoi goalkeeper.
Quality play from both teams. Great ball in here from Kênh. Marignan takes it brilliantly on the half volley. And Van Cong, incredible reflex saves. You can see how quickly he's had to react.
And you can see the reaction from Marignan, who knows it was a great chance. Corner comes in, dealt with there by Hanoi. picked up and recycled by Schruck. Back to his captain Stoibel. Back to Schruck again. A great chance there for Ceres, and that'll fill them with a bit of confidence. But it was a fantastic save from Nguyen Van Kong. Tanton. Ott with a chance, opens up for Ott. It's another save from Van Kong. And in the past couple of moments, the Hanoi goalkeeper's been called into action, and he's not been found wanting.
He certainly hasn't. He's been brilliant on both occasions. Good variety from Ceres, that early opportunity down the right, and this one straight down the middle. Ott, great little turn.
There will be another corner from this side for Ceres. Miguel Tanton to deliver. He's looking at the back post. Can it fall to Portera? It doesn't. And there's a chance for Hanoi to break. It's Nguyen Van Quet. He's got Oseni up in front of him. He's got Pape Omafai charging up forward. And Nguyen Quang Hai on the right. Then it finds him eventually, but it was behind the young Vietnamese star. Here's Oseni powering into the penalty area. And it's gone behind, and it will be a goal kick. And that was a promising attack there for Hanoi, but the pass from Nguyen Van Quet was behind Quang Hai, and it stopped all the momentum they had, and that'll be frustrating from their point of view. Certainly clearly unhappy with something.
There's a Sonny Basfeld here. It looks as though he was slightly clipped just on that occasion. Maybe it was just him a little bit clumsy or tripping over his feet, but it didn't look as though there was marginal contact made. He actually did very well to stay on his feet and not go to ground too easily, which is what we so often do see.
Ball's back with Roland Muller, and Ceres will be pretty pleased with their past couple of minutes. Two great chances, but Nguyen Van Kong not been found wanting on either occasion, keeping the score sheet level. Nice play there from Porteria. It's away from Omar Faye. Finds his skipper Stoibel, who turns 31 tomorrow. He'll be hoping for an early birthday present if his side can get the victory over Hanoi. Ball comes in looking for Maragnon. It's dealt with there by Nguyen Tan Chung. It's back with the Ceres skipper. Early throw there. It's a nice little turn inside. Shock becoming a lot more involved. And that's a positive thing for Ceres and a danger for Hanoi. Nice little ball forward there from Omar Faye, just a little slightly overhit. Partially dealt with by Andre Silva. Oseni looking to get onto it, but it's well tidied up there by Omid Nazari. And here's Stoibel once again. As I say, he celebrates his birthday tomorrow, 31 years old he will be. Still a young man, I'm sure you'd say, PJ, 31.
In majority of careers, you would say just getting started. In a professional sports person's career, particularly.
Và để tạm gác lại những giây phút căng thẳng ở trong trận thi đấu này, chúng tôi xin được trân trọng giới thiệu đến các bạn fp88vn.com là trang nhà cái đến từ châu Âu, có kèo ăn cao nhất hiện nay và đang được đông đảo anh em hâm mộ bóng đá tại Việt Nam lựa chọn để tham gia. fp88vn.com đảm bảo uy tín cho anh em nạp và rút tiền trực tiếp qua thẻ ngân hàng chỉ trong vòng 5 đến 10 phút mà thôi. Hãy nhanh tay tham dự tại fp88vn.com.
A little bit of a frustrated figure up front. A chance to add to his tally of 9 goals in this season's competition so far. The joint top scorer with Bienvenido Maragnon at the other end of the pitch. So far it's very much a stalemate between the battle of the two red-hot strikers, although Maragnon did have that fantastic opportunity that was brilliantly saved by Nguyen Van Kong just a few moments ago. It's a throw into Ceres. And over the course of the last few moments they've really come into this game. Shock becoming a lot more significant. Here he is on the ball once again, looking to play in his teammate. It's poorly dealt with there. They get away with it. Omar Faye looks to bring it out. He's got Quang Hai in support. It's with Quang Hai back to Omar Faye. And he wins himself a throw-in off Schruck.
Certainly just our luck, Dan. Both these teams, as we did quite humorously speak about, but it's kind of played it out like that. Top goal scorers in this competition, that both both absolutely prolific in finding the back of the net, and we're witnessing a 0-0 draw.
Yep, perhaps we did put the commentators cursed on it, but still plenty of time left in this one. Just about 5 minutes to go before half-time, plus stoppage time, and whole of the second half to come here on Fox Sports. And that's a lovely little ball through, almost there, just about cut out by Nguyen Tuan Chung. And these two sides actually were pretty prolific in terms of shots on goal during the group stages. Hanoi with 47, the most, and Ceres with 45. So the chances for goals are still there, PJ.
It certainly is. It certainly is. I'm holding faith in many ways. I've seen enough in these 40 minutes of this first half from both teams. They've got enough quality to really open up. We've seen it in this whole competition. A little bit trying circumstances this evening, given the conditions, but we will expect it to really open up in that second half, as we have witnessed in the majority of AFC Cup matches this season.
Ceres trying to build again, but once again dealt with by Hanoi. There's Omid Nazari. Stoibel, captain, crossing the halfway line. Nazari again. Ott. Stoibel pushing forward. Wants to play Ott once again, but gets the ball back. Schruck turns away in tight situation once again. Could have been given a foul there, it would have looked like. The pitch really is starting to dig up now, and it's getting pretty muddy in that area just in front of the Hanoi penalty area. Here's Portera. Nazari, and once again through comfortably to Nguyen Van Kong. He didn't have a lot to do in the opening part of the game, but did everything that was required of him when it was called upon. There's two excellent saves, first from Maragnon and then from Mike Ott.
Nazari got a little turn, actually, just able to get the ball out of his feet. Seen the last couple of opportunities there for Ceres, has come straight down the middle of Hanoi FC. I do enjoy them when they do work the ball into those wide areas, and I think it has been a little bit poor from them in many ways. They haven't been able to release Stubel and Kênh from that left and right fullback position. They love to overlap and get forward and get to the byline and get balls into the box, and we've only seen it once or twice.
Yeah, the fact that you say those two attacks and chances coming from directly down the middle of the pitch will be of a concern to Chu Din Nguyen, the Hanoi coach. There's a chance now for Ceres once again as we approach half-time. Here's Ott. He's got support from Portera. Portera! It's a brilliant ball across the goal and almost turned into the back of his own net from Moses Aloya. Just about manages to sort his feet out and put it behind for a corner. But a lovely bit of play there from Ceres, PJ.
It was. Portera's got to have a strike from here, though. You see, comes into his path. Actually doesn't need that first touch. He can just aim to strike it first time. It's difficult conditions, the ball's slipping around. Just get enough contact in it, hit the ball in the direction it was coming into that back post area.
Another excellent chance there for Ceres that goes begging. I'm hoping they don't come to rue that a little bit later on in the game. It is a corner. Tanton to take it once again. It's well headed out by Do Doi Man. And a chance for Hanoi to break. Here's Nguyen Van Quet. Quang Hai. Well dealt with there by Schruck. Still with Hanoi. He's playing it out wide to Aloya, the Ugandan. And that's a nice little ball inside. It's a chance, and it's just wide of the post. Do Hung Dung inches away from giving Hanoi the lead just before half-time. All of a sudden, these past couple of minutes, this game has sprung into life. He looks to have hurt himself in the process. Here's another look at that opportunity, PJ.
Oh, great opportunity. Very difficult to get that pace and accuracy when you're just allowing the ball to come across your body. You can see how close it was. Skipping past the post.
Inches away there from giving Hanoi the lead. There's a player down. Is it Do Doi Man? It is Do Doi Man. being claimed he's been struck in the face. The players in their jerseys and shorts, hard to tell whether it's sweat, water, or probably a combination of both, I'd imagine. And it's still pretty hot out there despite all the rain that has fallen.
It'd be nice and humid as the rain has settled.
Referee giving both Maragnon and Dodouaiman a stern talking to. Not sure what language he's using there to communicate with both, but it seems to have hoped he's got his message across, I guess.
Well, I think you probably just need to look at his facial expressions to understand the importance of what he was saying. But in particular, Dodouaiman, he's got to be careful already on that yellow card. It's a naughty challenge where it could have gone very, very wrong for him. He's a very tenacious and aggressive player. Just needs to ensure that he needs to reel it in a little bit and not let his teammates down by getting another silly yellow card.
Well, we are into 2 minutes of time added on at the end of the first half. That's gone pretty quickly. Here's Tanton. Spreads the play. Looking for a ball into the box. Here's Portera. Schruck. To go past Darren Van Gaal. It's a nice little ball in on the turn. Appeal for handball. It's fallen to Schruck again. Nothing given. The flag must have gone up against Schruck. Second time around, Maragnon appealing for the penalty.
It certainly looked like handball. Looking at it real time. It's a good ball in. Maragnon's just swiveled on it. He's taken it first time.
Nice if we get to see a replay, we'd actually show you what happened. He was convinced it was a penalty. Coach Vidakovic doesn't seem overly happy about the decision. Doesn't look like we're going to get to see it again, unfortunately. Given the way the handball decisions are judged these days. And we've got a chance here for Oseni. Right at the end of first half stoppage time. It's just overrun that one. It's behind for a goal kick, and maybe now we'll get to see a replay of that penalty decision. Here it is. Does strike him on the arm. He's very close to where Maragnon was.
It's always a difficult one. Look as though the arm was in touch with the body. If it hadn't have hit his elbow, it would have hit him straight in the chest. But given the conjecture around handball these days, it never surprised with anything that's awarded.
No, well, there is the half-time whistle. It is Ceres Negros 0, Hanoi FC 0. It has been a fully intriguing first half. Both sides with great chances, PJ, and despite the lack of goals, it's been an entertaining first half.
Oh, it certainly has. We've seen enough from both teams, particularly going forward in the latter stages of this half, to believe that there's going to be plenty of goals leading into that second half. Very much looking forward to it. It'll be an entertaining affair.
Well, let's hope you haven't put the commentator's curse on it once again. We'll be back here in just a few moments' time. Ceres Negros 0, Hanoi FC 0.